Hello everybody, Ray Garner from Garner's Games. I'm here to present a Ace format deck profile. Now for Ace format, you're only allowed to use one of any single card. You can only use duplicates if a card requires it. Otherwise it's just one-ofs. That's the whole concept of the Ace format. Also, if you have any search cards, you do have to have every card listed that it can search for. You can have no failed searches. But anyway, for the deck profile today, I picked one of the most classic monsters, one of the probably, I'd say, most popular decks of all times, which is Blue Eyes White Dragon. Now, I'm building the deck around Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, which therefore allows me to run, of course, your classic 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. In a format where you're only allowed to have one card normally, that's huge. Now here is 3 of the ones that I picked. All have some of my favorite arts, the classic art, and then just 2 really cool ones, the tablet being the first one I ever got. So that's our first 3 cards. Now we get into the one-ofs. Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. Obviously a fan favorite, has the ability to destroy something once per turn, and of course counts as a Blue Eyes. Crystal Dragon. This was introduced during the movie. I love the fact that, if this card battles this turn, you can add a level 8 dragon type monster from your deck. You have your obvious targets. Classic 2,000 point beat stick. It's a really cool classic dragon. Assault Worm. That's been kind of one of my staples. Because basically if you destroy an opponent's monster, you can special summon a dragon type monster from hand, as long as it's not Assault Worm. This is effectively a hand trap in this deck. Honest, you could use it for tribute summoning if you had to, but of course you're mainly going to use it to, prevent ties with your Blue Eyes. Kaiser Seahorse. This is a classic that's been in almost every starter that's built around Blue Eyes because it counts as 2 tributes for summoning a light monster. Since we got one of those, we can't run multiples of that, so here we have Light Effigy. When tribute summoning for a light normal monster, this counts as 2. Again, obviously choice for your Blue Eyes. Mirage Dragon. This dragon here basically keeps your opponents from activating traps during the battle phase. This protects you against, quite a few. Of course, the most classic being Mirror Force. But allows you to kind of hit with your Blue Eyes and not have to worry about the trap cards. Kaiba Man. This character actually appeared in GX. You can tribute this card, special summon 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon from your hand. It's another cheap, easy way to get Blue Eyes into play. Our second hand trap of the deck, Effect Veiler. Pretty much everybody knows what this card does. It's just really good. It can be used in an emergency situation to tuner, but you probably will never use it for that. Maiden with Eyes of Blue. Again, another classic card. Key to most of Blue Eyes decks. So she definitely makes the cut. Masters with Eyes of Blue. Not quite as good, but very good situational card and very on theme. He works well with our field spell that we'll get to. Priestess with Eyes of Blue. Got some pretty good useful effects in her case. But, just one of my favorite arts, so just a really cool card. Protector with Eyes of Blue has actually been quite useful in a couple of decks that I've used him in. Again, not considered one of the high-powered cards, but when you can't do 3 ofs, his value raises up quite a bit. This card here, if you've ever played a Blue Eyes deck, you know what kind of monster effect Sage with Eyes of Blue is. Just a great card. Definitely was a for sure lock into this deck. 2 more to round out the monsters. The White Stone of Ancients. And, of course, your other stone, White Stone of Legends. Both are quintessential to getting some Blue Eyes into play, and extremely useful. There's 20 monsters overall into the deck, so it's half the deck is monsters. and they're all focused around getting Blue Eyes out. Now we go to our spells. Classic burst steam. Yeah. Burst steam with a stream of destruction. I'll get it right here in a second. Hold on. You control Blue Eyes. Destroy all monsters your opponent control. Blue Eyes White Dragon cannot attack this turn. Small price to play to wipe the opponent's field. Yeah. Dragon Reveal Rhapsody. Oh man, having a hard time talking. If you control a spell type, spellcaster monster, target 2 dragon type monsters in your graveyard, including 1 normal, special summon them. Key to getting your Blue Eyes back into play. Again, this is a fusion deck, so we're using Fusion Substitute. Now, in Ace format, you can run 3 copies of Polymerization. It's the only card without specialty that allows you to run 3 copies of it, but I'm not doing it in this deck profile. Fusion Substitute has a couple of extra things. Its only drawback is the things have to be in play. There's a fair chance that you can pull that off, so it's not a bad card. Of course, as before, we mentioned Polymerization. It's a great card, very useful in a fusion deck. It's pretty much required in this format. Next, we have Pot of Duality. Not exactly considered one of the best draw cards because of the fact that it costs you your special summonings for the turn. However, a lot of your special summonings will happen on your opponent's turn, so played correctly, there is actually no drawback to Pot of Duality. Destructive Stomp. If you control a dragon-type monster, target 1 spell or trap card on the field. Destroy that if you do, inflict 500 points of damage. This card is going to go off pretty easily in this deck, and it allows you to do a little bit of control as far as spells and traps. Melody of Awakening Dragons. This is a staple in all Blue Eyes decks. Lets you go fish out a couple of Blue Eyes Dragons. Visions with Eyes of Blue. Now, this card may not be familiar with some of y'all. It's a continuous spell. When you activate this card, you may reveal a Blue Eyes White Dragon in hand. Special summon 1 monster from your hand. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster you control. Return that face-up monster to hand. If you do so, apply the following based on the original name of the card returned to hand. If it's a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you may special summon a monster from hand. If it's another, you may special summon a Blue Eyes monster from hand. You may only activate it once per turn. Now, this card would not make the cut in almost any other format, but in this format, this can be extremely powerful. Our Field Spell. Your Field Spell is basically going to be really helpful as far as getting out extra tuners, getting your things set up, activating various effects. It's just, very useful. You can banish it from your graveyard and add 1 Burst Stream of Destruction from your decked hand. This is why Burst Stream of Destruction has to be in this deck, because this has the option to go get it. Therefore, it has to be in the deck. Cannot fail a search. Mystical Taste Typhoon. This is just a staple card. This is a staple Blue Eyes card. Silver Scry. Special summon a normal dragon. It's quick spell, so you're able to use it in combat, so you can attack with Blue Eyes dies, you resummon Blue Eyes during the combat phase, attack with Blue Eyes again. And our last spell, Ultimate Fusion. This is one of your new support cards. During the main phase, special summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon or Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon as material. By shuffling the fusion materials listed on it from your hand, field, or graveyard into your deck. Then destroy all face-up cards your opponents control, up to a number of Blue Eyes White Dragons and Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragons used from the field as material. You may only activate this once per turn. This is a huge loophole fusion summon which allows you to destroy something. Extremely powerful. And that's our spells. And that we're running 12 spells in the deck. Now, traps. We run a little heavier on traps than what a lot of people will. But again, in this type format, I think it's useful. Dragon Rebirth. Target a dragon-type monster you control. Banish that target. And if you do, special summon 1 dragon-type monster from your hand. Or graveyard. So it's a really good way to make use of one of your lesser dragons to get a Blue Eyes. Fusion Reversal. Reveal a fusion monster from your extra deck. Add one fusion material card listed on that card from your deck to your hand. Then add polymerization from your graveyard. This is a way to get multiple uses of your polymerizations. Garragon Cataclysm. Tribute one dragon type monster. Then target 2 cards on the field, destroy them. You may only activate it once per turn. Again, a way to make use of your lesser dragons and to really just hammer your opponent for field control. Heavy Storm Duster, another field controlling spell. Take out 2 of the spell and trap. You lose your combat phase, but it's a trap spell. You're probably going to do it during your opponent's turn anyway. Again, limited drawbacks. Mirror Force, absolute classic. I've always recommended when somebody's learning how to play play Yu-Gi-Oh! Any face down cards you assume is a trap card, and you assume it is a Mirror Force or a Mirror Force type card that's going to mess you up. You need to figure out a way to either stop it from activating, negate its activation, or destroy it. So this is to make people pay who don't play by those rules. Solemn Strike. This is a staple card pretty much in all Yu-Gi-Oh! Decks if you're playing traps, just because you need to be able to negate things. Tyrant Ring. This is more of a theme card. It's just a trap I kind of like. Target 1 dragon type monster on the field. Equip this card to it. It gains 400 attack and defense. It can also attack up to 2 monsters on the field during the battle phase. At the end phase, if the equipped monster of this card, I can't read now. During the end phase, if a monster equipped with this card effect is attacked, man, I am messing this up. Anyway, if a monster equipped with this card by this effect attacked an opponent's monster this turn, destroy this card. So basically, it's a one-shot bonus. One of my personal favorite cards, Wall Disruption. An opponent monster declares an attack. All attack position monsters your opponent controls lose 800 attack points for each monster they control. This is a permanent deal. It also gets around, cannot be targeted, cannot be destroyed, because you're not destroying it. You're just dropping it to uselessness. That's our 8 traps. That finishes off our 40-card main deck. Our extra deck only has 6 cards in it. Of course, the card it's built around, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Now, unless you're just wanting to be cutesy, you're probably not going to choose to summon this one because there's other better cards to use in the extra deck, but it's the namesake of the deck. Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon. This one gets special effects if you use a Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon's material. You can target up to 3 cards opponent controls and destroy one. Or destroy all 3, I'm sorry. If it don't use the alternative, you get to destroy 1. We cannot attack this turn. Still, blowing up 3 cards for showing up is pretty good. But now on to my personal favorite, Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. This is the one where you get to send Blue Eyes fusion monsters from the extra deck to the graveyard to keep attacking up to 3 times. This is a game ender if your opponent can't answer for it. One of your staple Blue Eyes fusion cards, Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon, extremely powerful, very useful, and easy to get out. You don't need polymerization for it. We have our 2 Synchro monsters, Azir Eyes Silver Dragon. This is the one that lets you get normal monsters back from the graveyard. It's really good, very useful. And then, of course, Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Again, another one of the most useful synchro monsters for the Blue Eyes decks. It's just a staple. It's pretty much always used. So there you have it. That's my Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon deck for the Ace format. Again, this is a singleton style format with some exceptions. I think this format can take off and be extremely popular, extremely enjoyable. You're still allowed to play anything from links, synchros, Xyzs, pendulums, fusions, rituals. It doesn't matter. You can use the most current sets to build your deck. You just have to follow the special rules of only one of, unless a card specifically says you have to have multiples of it. And if you have something that does any kind of searching, you must have every card it searches in the deck. Try out the format, try out this deck. I'll be posting some more deck profiles later. It's time to duel.